Right. This may be a bit louder. This is the new technology we now do garden tours with. 40 years. Bloody hell. 40 years. Bloody hell. It leaves me speechless. Of course it doesn't really, but there we are. We're not unique in having been in business for 40 years, but it's a hell of an achievement nonetheless. This business has given a livelihood to around 30 to 40 local families for 4 decades. Our wages bill last year was 750,000. If you said our average wage bill over the 40 years was perhaps around 400,000, that's 16 million into the local economy. If you look at the amount of tax Burncoose Nurseries has paid in terms of VAT, which has varied over the years, much to the annoyance of our computer systems, national insurance, pension payments, and income tax, we've probably paid 6 to 8 million to the government over those 40 years. Makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you think there's a shitload of money that we've generated. Burncoose may have been famous for the Williams Cornish mining business that existed primarily between 1750 and 1850, employing 5,000 men in Gwenup. But since 1984, it's been famous for the supply of rare and unusual plants. Its catalogue, its mail order catalogue, and its gold medals at Chelsea, and a huge range of other mail order shows speaks for itself. As ever, Burncoose is often better known outside Cornwall than within Cornwall itself because of the nature of our mail order business. Unbelievably, our website is viewed by 1.5 million people a year, and during lockdown, rather more than that. 16,000 hours were spent watching the videos that Carl and many others of us do on a weekly or monthly basis, telling people how to do stuff with plants and talking about plants. 16,000 hours of watching our blogs in the last year. On YouTube and on our website, on a Cahays website and on the Burncoose website. And that's those 16,000 hours, that's 503,000 people sat down and watched Carl, you and I talking a load of bollocks about something in particular. But that is the reality. People desperately want to see and know and talk about that sort of thing. It's publicity we would never have dreamed of. In the 1980s and 1990s, we struggled to make Burncoose known to gardeners. Today, life is very much easier and easier to be better known. 23 or 24 years ago, we discovered ForgeCom. And they must take credit for teaching us how to run an internet mail order business through the minefields of all the bollocks we were told and chose to ignore, thanks to Julie. And our wonderfully complicated back office system, which actually functions extraordinarily well, and it's a bedrock of our business, is also down to ForgeCom. One of the most special things about today is to see how many of you who've worked here at Burncoose over the last 40 years, and despite retirement or moving away, have still kept in touch and kept up the friendship. The strength of our business has always been that our staff, their desire to learn about plants and to convey that knowledge with enthusiasm to our customers is the bedrock of our business. There are, however, three of you who deserve special mention today. Don't worry, I can talk louder. There are 3 of you who deserve special mention today. Dennis White has been working for the Burncoose estate for 65 years. And he is still working here today. At the Royal Cornwall Show, he will receive his 50-year award, which will be presented by whichever member of the royal family is there that day. Because Dennis worked for the Burncoose estate and then briefly for Southdown Nurseries and then for Burncoose Nurseries, he didn't. We couldn't get him qualified for the Royal Cornwall Show's 40-year rule until this year. But this year he does qualify. And we have a token of our appreciation den, which and the envelope. Yeah.
Now, where's Dennis?
So,
He's coming. Oh, that's it.
no, you do it. You do it.
Thank you very much.
This is wrong.
Sir.
All every single person.
And that's the important bit there,
That's
Dan.
very important. I may have to
I thought the shovel was so you could find another tree.
No, far too well inscribed to be used for any planting, really.
Oh, a spade. Lovely. I shall use it on the nursery.
Don't forget this one.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And I'd like to thank Mr. Williams for supporting us all through the years. There's been a lot of money spent to get to this stage, and we've done well, and I like winning the shows. I went down, Justin was down there, Justin said, come down and look at the trees this year, Dennis. Well, I said, I'm busy up here sorting out this. He said, I would like for you to come down and have a look. Because he said, Mr. Williams is going to the shows. Well, I thought if I go down, it must be a goal, sir. It's not, I'm not a gardener. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, well done.
Well done.
And I thank Andrew for what Andrew do as well. Andrew do a fantastic job. You look after everybody well, sir.
Marvellous, Dad.
Well done, Dad.
Well done, Dad.
It's a job to say how long Steve Dance has worked here, since he was brought up here as a child. He did once turn traitor and bugger off to work for Port Pendennis and somebody called Unsavoury, but he soon came back. Surprise, surprise. The Dance family have worked here for 3 generations, and I'm delighted that we make a small presentation to Steve in acknowledgement of everything he, his father, and his son.
I'd like to say it's a pleasure working for you, Charles, but should I speak the truth? Thank you very much.
Rob Toy's time here has been easier to tabulate. We make it 38 years, which is pretty remarkable. And everything you see in the garden and the way that the garden looks so well today, and we've enjoyed looking at it, is entirely Rob's doing and a lifetime of work. Well done, Rob. And we've got something for you as well. So let's come back to the original concept of 1984. The Nuckies supplied the plants and the Williamses supplied the venue and the seed corn to get going. Many thought the partnership wouldn't work, but they've been comprehensively proved wrong over the last 40 years. Nothing could be better than to see Jenny Nucky here and fitter than she's been for many months. Cheers, Jenny. The partnership continues and is beginning to jump the generations, as we can all see. We welcome Cressy Nucky and all that she has achieved in taking over plant propagation over the last few years. Phil Nucky has still got a couple of bones in his body which he hasn't yet broken in the odd car accident or bicycle crash. But it is a great credit to him to see a few of his landscape customers here who have used Burncoose many a time and worked with Philip many a time over the decades. Today, all we've tried to do is to mirror exactly what we did 40 years ago. When we started the business, we cut the ribbon, rather liquid event, a bit light on the food. What we have to say is the conservatory is in rather better order, thanks to David Sars, than it was 40 years ago. This house may have seen some extraordinary things in the last 310 years, but I doubt if any of our predecessors would have guessed what has been achieved by the Nucky and Williams families, their staff and their friends in the last 40 years. Do have a look at the year-by-year collages of pictures that are on the website, which show many of you looking a lot younger than you appear to be today. And we are about to put live large collages of pictures of all 40 years at the Chelsea Flower Show, which many of you may feature in as well. And the Chelsea stuff will be going live online on the 1st of May. We must now look to the future and the next 40 years. It will not be plain sailing. Business never is. I would however ask you to raise your glasses and to toast Burncoose Nurseries and the next 40 years. The next 40 years. Thank you very much. That's quite enough from me. I'll now take this ridiculous thing off. Turn the bastard off, yes.
Yeah, I think lots of funny what happened to you.
There's no need to just go. Drink up. There's plenty more. Drink up. Hang on. Dennis is supposed to have his... That collage is for Den.
Okay, he'll take it at the end.
We must don't let Den go without his collage.